Hello and welcome back to part 6. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, hello, get that strap up, Nikki. Some of you might be thinking, I can't believe she's only mentioning money now as number 6. These aren't particularly ordered, but also I think there is so much conversation about money on the internet, which I know is important. Of course it is. We've all got bills to pay. We've all got to make this viable and workable and doable. But there's so much conversation about, I have a 6-figure business. I do this, da 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 da. And that is great. But what's going on underneath? What's happening? Is this profit? Is this turnover? Is this you getting in debt on a credit card and then paying it off? Like, what's happening here? Are you spending time with your family? Are you a well person? Are you kind to yourself? Are you kind to other people? Like, there's so many questions I have about this. But I invariably talk about money with my clients because they are coming to me because they want to create this income pie that really works for them. And money is very, very personal. And I think sometimes we forget that. Everybody wants different things. And I often think that there is always a payoff in some ways. And that's not to be negative. It's just to be aware of. If you are building something that requires 18 hours of your day, other areas of your life are not going to have that focus. And you might say, that's okay. I'm really happy. I heard Alex Hormozy saying this recently. And he was like, I love working. This is great. I think they're now having a baby. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when that baby's like, I like being awake for 18 hours a day. But anyway, maybe they won't have that baby. Maybe they'll have a very productive baby who's like, I wake up, I feed, and then I just go back down. I'm good. I'm happy. I did not have those babies. They were delightful and lovely, but that was not what was happening in my household. But anyway, I digress. There are some people who have a figure in mind that they want to make every single month that feels so good to them. And that is not necessarily a 7-figure business. They have a version of life and business that feels so good to them. Because actually for them, making money is just a piece of the life puzzle. They want to do other things. They want to volunteer. They want to give back. They want to cook dinners. And I've always had this thing as well with my own business, I guess, is that I never wanted to create a big machine that I would have to operate. And I've always wanted to spend my time not managing people and doing the bits that I do. So does that mean that sometimes I go slower than other people? Absolutely. The fact that I want to be a really present mum whenever I can be, does that mean I'll go slower? Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed this when I left coaching school and in the beginning of like the entrepreneur conversation, I was meeting people and connecting with people. Sorry, I hate that phrase. But I then quickly became pregnant and like no relation to the coaching qualification at all. But I was in that early stages, I then kind of went into parent life. And it changed because I wasn't going to retreats. I wasn't going to Bali. I wasn't going to Hawaii. I was going to soft play or a church hall to sit on the floor and sing nursery rhymes. But I wanted to have a baby at that time. And I was lucky enough to be able to have one. And that was great. And I'm so glad that timing happened. I digress. You and your money is completely personal. So I've got 2 questions. How much money do you want to make? And how do you want to make it? And how do you want it to feel? And this is literally a numbers game. This is about taking a blank piece of paper and inviting yourself to play with some numbers. And yes, this piece of paper will very quickly look a bit scribbly. It might have different color pens on it. It might have notes. It might have arrows, but that's okay. That first draft of you saying, do you know what? I'd like to create this kind of course. And if I sold this course for this amount of money every single month, and I could guarantee doing, you want to have all of that feeling. This is not necessarily a polite, okay, so this is what it is. When you're recreating or restructuring a business model in this way, sometimes it gets a bit grubby. Like pulling out a cupboard, pulling out a wardrobe. You're like, oh, I didn't even know I had this, or I forgot about this, or I can't believe this is still in my life. It needs to go. It's so outdated. It's very much that process. So have a think. Get really real with the numbers. Don't allow yourself to do those things if I just want to make more money. I see you. Just more money? It's vague. It's vague. Go into the specifics and go bigger than you think. Just because it's fun, and see and consider the possibilities that may be available to you. If you want to find out more, my brand new Create Your Income Pie version is coming out very soon. So in the meantime, if you want to book a one-on-one session with me, absolutely do that. Come to my Work With Me section on my website and we can go from there. Lots of love. Bye.